What types of conversations do you host with employees to get the conversation going?
That's a great question. I can start this, and Will, if you have anything to add, but um, I think maybe the asker of this question is thinking about the discussion series that we were talking about. So what we've done with these discussion series is we've opened it up to the entire organization, and we've had a loose theme for each one. It's not to say that like nothing else can be talked about, but for example, we've done one on microaggressions and unconscious bias. We are planning one for next year about allyship and what it means to be an ally. And so how we typically structure these discussions is the entire group or everyone that's interested joins. We have either an outside speaker or a member of the committee do a very short, maybe a couple of slides, maybe no slides, a short presentation about the topic. So what is a microaggression? What does unconscious bias look like? What does it mean? Then we break people into breakout rooms. We usually have a member of the DEI Advisory Council be in each breakout room to kind of maybe foster the conversation. And we just invite folks to talk about if they've had any sort of experiences, if they've heard any other stories, if they have questions, really make it an honest and very informal dialogue. We bring the whole group back together at the end. Maybe a spokesperson from each group wants to share something a theme that their group landed on. Maybe they don't, but there's really no ultimate, I would say, outcome that we're looking at as part of these discussions. It's really just making sure everyone feels comfortable to ask questions if it's something they're not familiar about, share their own experiences, talk with individuals, get different experience, get different diversity of thought, different perspectives. But I think having that loose theme and having someone to kind of kick off that conversation before you break into the breakout rooms, then having those smaller groups where folks might feel comfortable speaking up as opposed to a larger Zoom meeting. That's how we kind of have been able to get the conversation going. And being a part of those breakout rooms, I've found great conversations that have come up out of those, really meaningful ones.
And then I think the only thing I would add, Lisa responded to the question from the DEI Advisory Council perspective. I want to take this up to the higher level, larger organizational perspective. When we started consulting with our DEI research team, one thing that was illustrated is that yes, DEI is paramount, DEI is important, but everything that relates to DE&I does not necessarily have to be labeled DE&I. So for example, earlier we talked about the importance of actually listening to what your employees have to say. So another thing that we do is we have so many avenues for people to share their feedback. Our operating committee, our people and culture committee is very, very open to hearing from employees and always promoting that we want to hear what you have to say. We have our anonymous suggestion box where if individuals don't feel comfortable sharing certain things with who they are being known, they can share certain suggestions anonymously. Doing our third party research and having those focus groups being led by a third party consultant where members of leadership, members of people and culture are not sitting in on those groups to further create trust and anonymity amongst our employees so that that third party representative can anonymize their findings and report them back to our organization. So outside of our DEI discussion series, our trainings, really just creating multiple avenues for our employees to share their feedback, their commentary, their concerns, etc.